Welcome to Motivate You, the Winner Circle here. Your host, June Archer. This is 50.com. Today, my special guest, my brother in song, singer-songwriter, crooner, R&B vocalist extraordinaire. He is a man of plenty of things, but one thing he is the love king of R&B. Please welcome to the show, my brother, Raheem Devaughn. Raheem, what's going on, brother?
Peace, June. How you doing, man? All is well on this end.
Man, I woke up this morning feeling good, and I'm just excited, man. We were just talking off stage about this beard, man. The COVID beard is coming like full, like it's full, man. How's it feel, man, to be in this situation and kind of just living your life, man, during COVID?
I mean, it's cool. In terms of COVID, it's been a huge adjustment. I think it's a mental health adjustment for anybody on the planet. You know what I mean? But for individuals like myself, ourselves, being true hustlers and ambitious, we've been figuring it out. As far as the COVID beard, I think I just got a new attribute. The Love King of R&B, aka the French Tickler.
The ladies gonna love that. You gotta be careful. Don't when everything open up, you do these meet and greets. The first thing they gonna do, they gonna wanna, you know what I mean?
Ooh la wee wee. Nah, man, it's cool. I'm not too keen on doing the barber thing just yet. And moving how we moved previously, and I haven't really had a press need right away to just go sit in the chair. So it's cool, man.
Dope.
Definitely. It's definitely it's matching the swag of the records I've been making.
Of course, it's giving you a different dimension.
Yeah.
Talking about the swag. How has the creative process been for you during this time? Because you've been having a lot of time, and people that don't know how you get busy, you do some of your own records, and you write your own records. So how has the creative process been for you since being quarantined?
It's been incredible, believe it or not. It's been incredible. I've been making some of the. I think over the last 24 months, I've been making some of the best music of my life. I feel like I became a master of my craft. Tapping into that album 6. Looking back on album 6, album 7, The Love Reunion is the most recent album that's been out to date. I became a master of my craft, and for some tap into that quicker than others. But I definitely I'm on a rhythm right now on an upswing, and I personally can say I don't feel like I've given the world my best music yet. So for people who I say that to some individuals, they be like, "Whoa, that's scary," and it's
right.
But it's a blessing, man. You develop yourself and you become better over time through repetition, knowledge and experience.
No, I truly believe that, and if we don't want to rest on what we already presented to the universe, so I get that piece. For you, the Love Reunion came out 2019. And what was the inspiration behind that? Because people love that, and it stayed in the lane and the vibe of what Raheem Devaughn is and who we come to love as Raheem Devaughn. But what was the inspiration behind the Love Reunion?
Keeping the theme of love, going. Album 7. This record, I wanted to kind of speak to a level of vulnerability for men. You know what I'm saying? I think that I do that anyway, but it's finding new ways as a vocalist also to creatively continue the story and challenge myself. You know what I mean? And as well as the songwriting, the subject matter. I dug deep on this one and really pushed it to the limit. The actual title track is the record that speaks to infidelity and all the things you may go through in a relationship as a man. So I wanted to kind of have that record and records that speak for, the brothers, you know what I mean? A lot of times as an R&B singer and a crooner and soul singer, the lyrics and the concepts and the songs and the melodies, they're going to penetrate the woman, you know what I mean? But at the same token, though, you got to be able to speak for the brothers where all they got to do is just pop it in, whip.
And let it rock.
And let it rock. You know what I mean?
I mean, you've been talking about subject matters that are necessary. Are the things that you want to touch that men kind of shy away from, that you feel like, you know what, as I'm growing, as I'm developing as a man and as an artist, uh, as a practitioner of your genre of music, is there things that you want to talk about that you haven't had the opportunity to really put your finger on just yet?
Man, no, I think I've done a great job of it up to date. You know, I've always been a wear it on your sleeve guy. I think if there's anything that I haven't touched on like lyrically in the song is just the fact that like we got to do a better job of protecting the Black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like across the board. So that's for me. That's a personal agenda. It has always been an agenda in the music. Hence, where records like "Woman" and "Queen" or "Greatness" featuring Wale, come into play in the past. And I got some new vibes that I'm working on, in current state that speak to that. So that I think for me that's always been like the agenda because I've seen the R&B culture change. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of the cats that they want to be the rapper. They want to be the rapper singer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer that you emulate who you are. And I think and I think in that process, what R&B and soul music meant to the culture for us as a race of people, it was to swoon, it was for chivalry, you know what I mean? And so when you hear the music, I want people to know that chivalry isn't dead. It still exists.
It's very much alive.
It's very much alive. I still believe that love is the highest frequency we can operate on. And I just try to make sure that that's transcendent, and that vibe and that frequency is always in the music. We got enough records like disrespecting our women. You know what I'm saying? I take it personally. When we disrespect our women, that's disrespect to my mama, your mama.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's so it's something I stand on. It's a foundation I've always stood on heavy, and I just try to exemplify that. Through the music, through the lyric, through the melody,
And you've done a great job with that, brother. I gotta say that. For you, what is the collaboration that you haven't done yet that you would love to see, even if it's a dream collaboration? And I'm gonna throw a twist in there too. Dead or alive, is there a collaboration that you would want to do to bring to the universe that you think would be a blessing?
Man, off the rip, I could tell you Prince, Bob Marley, and Marvin, who probably like three of my huge male influences. I'd love to get one in with Sade. I think that would be dope.
That would be fire.
Yeah, I could see myself, really dope, socially conscious record with Lauryn Hill. I mean, a lot of people I've already worked with. I'm down, man. I'm game for whatever. My resume in terms of like features and stuff across the board. I mean, I worked with, Talib. I got records with Talib, Scarface, UGK. Man, a lot of joints. T-Pain. I've worked with a lot of people, man, across the board.
You got records. There's no denying that. No denying that.
Gangstar, Guru before he passed.
Fire.
Yeah. It's like so it's as well as like the big crits of the world, Currency. Discover artists like Phil Ade, Chaz French. Of course, Wale. Like we worked. I've done a lot of work with different artists. I'm a huge fan and supporter of the hip hop culture.
For you, I know you got this new record coming out, the remake of Secret Garden 2020.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, now we were just talking about. You just touched on the socially conscious record.
Yeah.
If there was going to be a socially conscious record to come out tomorrow, if you could put 5 artists on there, you the 6th artist to bless that record, who would be those 5 other artists with Raheem Devaughn on that record?
Man, that's a tough one, G. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with, and I'm the sixth man.
And you
I'm
the
the
sixth
sixth
man.
man.
You sixth man.
All right, I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with myself.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Avant.
Woo.
I'm gonna go with Brian McKnight.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Ralph Tresvant. I'm gonna go with Johnny Gill.
Ooh, heavy hitter. Okay.
I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna throw Gino Vanelli in there.
Ooh.
And and,
That's a nice twist.
and then I'm gonna add myself to the and I'm gonna add myself to the to the, and be the sixth man.
I like
Now
that.
Now the beauty and all that the beauty and all that is it'll be very easy to clear the record.
It would be
because I'm ahead of A&R over at SRG and all these guys are on.
Everybody's over there.
Everybody's over there anyway. So we gotta keep it all in the family. You know
all right, so we gotta make that record happen. I gotta A&R that record. That record would be straight, crazy, inspirational, and so motivational. So let's talk about this Secret Garden 2020, the classic Quincy Jones record.
Yeah.
It has you, Sean Stockman, of
Yeah.
Boyz II Men, Cisco,
yeah.
from Drew Hill, and one of my good friends from my hometown in Connecticut.
Yeah.
My man, Omar Wilson. How did that come about?
Oh man, you know, Omar and his team reached out about getting on this record. Me and Omar clicked. What was it? What was it? The NAACP Awards. I want to say 2019. Was it 2018, 2019? You know, me and Omar, man, we shut it down. We be like best dressed, you know, for the occasion.
Yeah, he gets busy. He young.
Yeah.
He gets busy.
I can tell him see the picture, man. We you know what I mean? We got busy for that, man. You know, so it was like we was the flyest guys in the party, man. So we just clicked. We ended up talking about the suits and all of that and just vibing, man. You know, so we clicked, we stayed in touch. And you know, so they reached out about jumping on the record. Shout out to his partner Lou. Actually, Lou reached out and said, "Hey, man, I got this vision for this record. I would love for you to be part of it." And as it started unfolding, you know, he already had a relationship or what have you, or reached out to Sean from Boyz II Men. You know, he made the Cisco thing happen as well. And you know, initially when you set out to do things like this, you have your own personal list, and then you start to run into the hiccups or what have you. So, you know, my advice to Lou was just like, hey man, like whatever you're trying to accomplish, let it manifest and be an organic thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. When it's organic, you can never go wrong. You know what I mean?
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, that's when the magic happens. So, you know, fast forwarding to now, you know, the record's mixed and mastered, and apparently there's a word on the street is there's a Quincy Jones testimony, so he's gotten a blessing, you know, from the legendary Quincy. So we'll see how it manifests, man. I'm excited about it. You know, it's a record that's been it's a record that's been remade a few times, and right about now it's probably you know, time for another version. You know what I mean? It's one of those records you can
right now.
every decade it gets touched. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And who better to do it than the four of you? So I'm super excited about that. For you now, you got this show where you get the opportunity to play some of your favorite slow jams. I want you to talk about that to the people watching and listening. Your particular show, and I got to check it out, man. And I think me and you gonna have to do a versus on the slow jam joint, because you do a great job, but I have to come in and do my Donnie Simpson thing.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's called The Garden of Love. It's an idea that I've always wanted to do. You know, something that I've been wanting to do for some time. You know, it's my version of say like The Quiet Storm. You know, man, somebody that grew up on that, you know, in DC and Melvin Lindsay and WHUR. You know, I was always a fan of like slow jams and ballads. I feel like that's a strength. You know, I feel like that's something that's not always touched on as far as my catalog in the slow jams, but it's something that I become accustomed to being known for. You know, and in the spirit of that, I came up with The Garden of Love, which is you know, although I'm not a DJ, I have great taste in music. And so it's a curation that I came up with during the quarantine time, something to keep myself busy. And it's, you know, it's evolving into something totally different, man. And people are embracing it. I'm in the middle. I just jumped off of a call prior to this. It's a tedious work building your own platform. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I wanted to be right. So in the meantime, I partnered up with stageit.com, which is a wonderful platform, for artists, for live artists and indie artists, where you can continue to perform live if that's something you enjoy doing or missing doing, or kind of working out the kinks on what the virtual concert experience feels like moving forward. But I'm also doing, my radio show, my quote unquote virtual radio show over there now, The Garden of Love, which happens every Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. I'm also online on Wednesdays as well over at stageit.com, doing what we call Woke Wednesdays. And we don't do any love songs on that night. We do strictly just all types of conscious vibes, new records. And in both cases, it allows me to expose music lovers to tap in to new music and artists they may not be hip to and songs they may not be hip to. You know what I mean? So we play some of the familiar stuff. We play some B-sides. I put them on the new artists as well. And it's challenged me to have to be more of a student of music and to dig deep into those virtual crates and find the right songs and the right curation, more importantly, because it's something about, just like hip hop or any genre of music, it's something about playing the right song behind the right song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a vibe that it creates and the mood that it sets up. And you know what I mean? So, and then I put the playlist out for the week, via Spotify. And a lot of, the fans been very receptive to it. And again, it providing that sense of escapism, but also edutainment, and the level of, slow jams is necessary,
It's very necessary
Yeah.
right now. I mean, I remember the days when you pop the tape in, just let that joint rock.
Yeah.
I come from the era where,
Yeah.
when you talk about R&B music, the
Yeah.
slow jam was the joint.
Yeah.
You went to a party at the end of the, they put on that boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. You like, all right, if I don't even got a pen, I got to just try to remember the number, something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you leaving there knowing that slow jam, you just want to get that one little dance in, because that's like a little chain reaction. Because now maybe I see you at the jam next week, maybe
Yeah.
get another slow jam in. Maybe it's Pretty Brown Eyes next week. Who knows what it is, and then before you know it, you married.
Yeah.
That's your wedding song.
Yeah, and there it is. And there it is.
You talk about being woke. Talk about conscious records. You've been doing a lot of things, man, during this time, man. We're seeing the times change, and we're trying to make these adjustments. We're trying to make these changes, reform. Diversity inclusion is a big thing now. What have you been doing, man, on the front lines to have your voice be heard with the changes that need to be done today?
Yeah, right now I'm aligning myself for a huge partnership, which will be a national and global campaign for Stop and Frisk. I can't get too deep into that right now because we still working out the business on it. But you can definitely expect that in the near future. I have a foundation, the Love Life Foundation, which has allowed me for the last 6 years to advocate, to fight and protect, women in terms of fighting domestic violence, sex trafficking, things of that nature. On a global level, I've been to the UN for it, a few years ago. We do what's called the Textbook Scholarship Fund, supplying books and supplies for the first year of college for students out of the DMV area, Maryland, DC, Virginia area. I've been a huge supporter of those that are displaced locally in terms of, supplying food and supplies and toiletries and stuff of that nature over for half of the decade. Feeding the homeless in the past with my good brother, Tony Lewis Jr., Operation Nourishment, which I hope at some point we're able to bring back. That's Tony's operation, but it's just so dope, man. We touch so many people. And currently, man, we're doing a plethora of things. Before COVID, we had adopted Turner Elementary on the southeast side of DC, which with a program, Martha's Table and a few other organizations here locally on the ground, where we would provide fresh fruits and vegetables for the entire neighborhoods, surrounding neighborhoods of the school. allowing the parents to come in with the students after school once a month and get fresh fruits and vegetables, things of that nature. Have a huge partnership with the AHF as well, who's transitioned into helping those that are displaced as well globally. You know, starting out with the fight against HIV and AIDS and maintaining that, and now COVID, the pandemic being what it is. As far as being on the front lines for our people, man, you know, I've been on, I've been there, you know what I mean, and been making a record. So it's dope to see a lot of the artists that are now, you know, jumping out of that shell and understanding, you know, that this is something that's not only needed now, but imagine how much progress we could have made back then.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back in the 90s, you know what I mean? Everything can't be a party. Everything can't be a turn up. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's a thin line with that. But there's a gang of initiatives and a gang of things that you can expect to be happening, you know, with the Love Life Foundation, my organization, and you know, and moving forward. You know, as far as the climate of the country, you know, we definitely want to push the initiative of voting and registering to vote. You know, not just on a national level, but more importantly on the local level, because those local laws are the laws that affect us the most in our communities. You know, and we're the ones that are most affected.
Yeah.
Affected. You know, I'm one of those cats that definitely is pushing now to align my brand with a lot of black owned businesses, independent owned businesses, and supporting our own. You know, I think overall affecting being able to affect the economy is what's going to really change things. You know, not only in this country but on this planet, and we have to be cognizant and mindful that systemic racism, you know, white supremacy, these things, they're not a U.S. based practice.
Right.
They all these, you know, they were indoctrinated, created abroad and brought here, so that we have to remember and be cognizant that the real fight is not just here in the U.S. It's a global
Humanity.
It's a global fight for humanity, good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? And this is a very pivotal point for us right now.
I'm hopeful that we will get there, and I appreciate all that you've been doing. If there's anything that we could do to help the foundation, please don't hesitate to ask, man. We are there. We're behind you 150% to support anything that you're doing, especially in the DMV area, you know, where you're from, man. I know you love to give back, and you're a child of those communities, man. So please don't hesitate. For you, you've been doing this a long time, Raheem, man. What motivates you now?
Man, I always been self-motivated, you know. I definitely the sign of the times. I mean, it depends on what you're speaking to, you know. If you're speaking to the art form and the lyric, you know, and making records, like, I always been so self-motivated, you know what I mean? But I also aspire to inspire, you know. I'm also very competitive. So I pay attention to what's happening with, you know, with R&B and soul music sonically, and you know, I like to think that I'm one of the best at what I do at my game, you know, but there's something very unique about what I do. You know what I mean? And I've found a cool way to carve out a lane for me, and I think I have a very distinct sound, you know, and it continues to grow even now, you know.
You're a Taurus, so I already know the competition thing is a real thing. So we stay competitive. You know, we think we the best. So I get it. I ain't even mad at you. I'm not even mad at you. For you, man, music is a soundtrack to life. What is the best song or the one song that pretty much sums up your journey to this point, or the song that inspires and motivates you to want to create, to want to get up and just put your best foot forward?
Man, it would have to be. It had to be a three-way tie. It's three records that I feel like, and ironically they're all, you know, socially conscious records. But there's a record from my first album called Who, from the Love Experience album that speaks to that speaks to humanity. There's a record I recorded prior to that album coming out, you know, with the legendary DJ Jazzy Jeff, called My Peoples, that speaks to, you know, my people, God's people, all people that um, that are operating for freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I mean? And then I think, and then coming in, real close on the three-way tie, it probably would be a record that I put out over a decade ago, 10 years ago, called Bulletproof, featuring Luda. So those three records in particular kind of sum up the things I've seen in my lifetime, um, what I represent, what I love, what I'm disenchanted with, what I would love to see change, and that's what the gift is about at the end of the day, being of service to the people,
No, that's dope. And being in the music business, there always comes a point where it's a gift and a curse, and
Mm-hmm.
there's so many roadblocks and obstacles throughout this whole process and the journey. For you, what is the best piece of advice you could share with somebody who's watching or listening today, who's going through, losing a loved one in COVID, or losing, someone to gun violence, and they're trying to find a way to pay their mortgage or finish school? The best piece of advice you could give somebody right now to let them know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel?
Man, I say, invest in you, bet on yourself, you get some of that government money. Don't just take it to the mall and blow it. Find a way to start a business, or invest in yourself. You not to be cliche. You got to keep your head up though. You got to push through. Again, this is a very challenging and trying time for everyone on all different levels. You know what I mean? Because we all have our own plans until we understand the concept that if you want to make God laugh, you make your own plans. You know what I mean? So it's very important to push through and understand that every day is going to be a test in some form or fashion. But you gotta push through. Sometimes it is just a test of faith.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta have faith of a mustard seed, but
yeah, definitely.
you will find a way, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been playing this game with everybody, man, and I wanna bring it to you, man. We're gonna have a little fun. For those watching and listening, the
Let's get it.
They're coming with an R&B version. I know that you're in it, so right. I'm excited about that. But we're gonna play this University of Dope, and we're just gonna have a little fun. So, the first question I'm gonna ask you is the best song dedicated to your moms: Miss Jackson, Hey Mama, All That I Got Is You, or Dear Mama by Tupac?
Oh man, I love Ghostface, man. That's the guy. You know what I mean? Hey Mama was dope. That came from a very personal space. Miss Jackson, Outkast, we already know what that is. Killing in the South, the Kings of the South. They kicked the door in for it all. Man, I'm gonna have to go with Dear Mama though. Tupac.
All right, Pop. Yeah. All right, Pop.
Yeah.
Here we go. If someone wanted to experience hip hop for the first time, what album would you give them? Low End Theory, Enter the Wu-Tang, Straight Outta Compton, or Paid in Full?
Oh man, this is a dope game. This is like, oh man, it's gotta be Low End Theory, man. Like it's gotta be like, I had the opportunity to sit in and hear Bob Power speak for over 2 hours about the process of making that album and working with Tribe. And the opportunity was provided by DJ Jazzy Jeff, a very exclusive X-Men for Music retreat
at his crib
called the Playlist.
Crazy.
And so I've been there a few times, and Jeff is really like Professor X. He's like he's that's the character that was like in the wheelchair, right?
Yeah,
and yeah. That's kind of like our nickname. I want to say maybe Skills came up with that name for him, whatever, Professor X. But I had the opportunity to hear him talk about the processes of that record and just his ears and his experience and the records that he's touched and different artists he's been in the, in the artist space with, in the studio and what have you. And it's like, man, to be such a fan and sonically
Crazy.
how they put that thing together, man. That album could come out. That album could come out in 2030 and still be.
It's still bang.
It's still bang. Yeah.
That bass.
It just cuts through space and time, and that's something that is a rare quality for artists, and it's just having all the right combinations of the right things at that right moment for something that's bigger than you, and with all due respect, the other albums that you named do the same thing though, ironically, right? In a whole nother way,
They do.
So it's but for me personally, that record would be the one.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Here we go. You can only watch one show after school. Which one is it? Yo MTV Raps, 106 & Park, Rap City, or TRL?
Oh man, you're killing it today. God, man, I'm gonna have to go with hey man, that's a tough one, G. Cause I remember watching all these different shows at different points in my life, man. I'm gonna go with I'm like torn between Yo MTV Raps and Rap City, the basement with Big Tig, believe it or not. Like I'm torn. I like
all right. Lights, camera, action, the best film with a rapper in it. Belly, Paid in Full, Boys in Hood, or Set It Off?
I'm gonna go with Paid in Full, man. That's my flick right there.
That's the joint.
Yeah.
You're stranded on a deserted island, but you can only listen to one album. What will it be? Black on Both Sides, Most Def, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul, or The Chronic, Dr. Dre?
I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with Lauryn Hill.
All right. Drum roll, please. Best hip hop soundtrack: Friday, Above the Rim, 8 Mile, or Juice?
Let's go with Above the Rim.
All right. Reporting live from the Friend Zone. Pick the Friend Zone anthem. Marvin's Room, Drake, I Wish, Skilo, I Got a Man, Positive K, or Just a Friend, Biz Markie?
Just a Friend, Biz Markie.
All right. The best Thug Love collaboration. Always on Time, Ja Rule featuring Ashanti, You're All I Need, Method Man, Mary J. What's It Gonna Be, Busta and Janet, or Best of Me, the remix, Maya?
Come on, man. You know what it is. We're gonna go with B.
You're all died together, glide together. You already know what it is.
Just the fact that it made your face twist up like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Stay Woke, the best politically conscious song. Fight the Power, F the Police, Hip Hop, or My President?
I'm gonna go with. That's a tough one right there. Who thinks of these things? Jesus. I'm gonna go, believe it or not, I'm gonna go with C. I'm gonna go with Dead Prez. I'm gonna go with Bigger Than Hip Hop. Like, it's something about that record. Like, it's one of them records, man. Soon as the bass line,
it's it. It's
a rap.
Now I'm gonna get you. Raheem Devaughn, you've been playing University of Dope. Here's the ace. Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? Nas, the Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, or Jay-Z?
Man, I'm go with. I'm gonna go with Jay.
You're gonna get rid of Jay, the Jigger Man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother Raheem Devaughn. Make sure you check out everything that he got going on. Where can they find you? Where can we follow you? And what's coming up next?
Man, you know, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Raheem_Devaughn. That's RAHEEM_DEVAUGHN. Feel free to click on the Instagram link bio, which will direct you to where you can check out my online performances, my online content with stageit.com, as well as other things that are, you know, other services I provide, singing you happy birthday, all that cool stuff, you know, virtual online meet and greets and things of that nature. For the community work, you can log on to www.lovelifefoundationdmv.org. Once again, that's lovelifefoundationdmv.org. Make a donation, get involved. Remember, you don't have to be me, myself, Raheem Devaughn, or a public figure to start a movement, you know, so turn up and do your part.
You heard it here. My guest today, Raheem Devaughn. It's your boy, June Archer. The Winner Circle motivates you here on thisis50.com. Make sure you love somebody. Tell somebody you love them. And sometimes a random act of kindness goes further than you think. Stay motivated, be inspired, live your dream, and keep your best foot forward. And always remember, yes, every day can be a good day. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like it, love it, share it, and just make the world a better place.
Everything June just said, and just a bonus alert. What a time to be in love. Coming soon. The colleagues, myself, collaboration project coming very soon. What a time to be in love. Listen out for that.
You heard it here first. Raheem Devaughn here. The Winner Circle motivates you. June Archer. Peace.